Hello there, and welcome back to day 12 of 12 days of mobility and strength. You made it. It's the final session of this series. Incidentally, I have not necessarily designed these 12 videos to be, sort of one big, all-encompassing, full-body, cohesive pursuit in, hitting your proverbial reset button on your mind and body. It's been just a series, as I've mentioned in other videos. This has now and will now have become just a series of little movement vignettes that you can try to explore your body in sort of little scavenger hunty type ways. So keep that in mind. And for our final session today, it's all about testing your shoulder endurance. It will definitely include some strength and some mobility. Please listen to your body. Please don't do anything that causes pain or discomfort. And please feel free just to watch if that's something you enjoy doing. But I do encourage you to participate, because if you do these things that help you to explore your body in ways in which you perhaps don't always move but are designed to, you'll get to know yourself a little bit better. So why not? The only things you'll need today are a yoga bolster, or if you don't have that, you could use a couple of pillows, a couple of sturdy pillows upon which to rest your knees. But if you don't need any padding for your knees, you don't need it, right? It's up to you. You can decide. I've gotten to a point in my practice where I don't necessarily need to have a pillow under my knees, but it's nice to have when it's there. So for the purposes of expediency, or attempted expediency, I will be demonstrating all these exercises with hand weights, but you are welcome to do them without if you'd like to. All right, so here's our first exercise, and I'm just having us do this whole series on our knees, because in prior videos I have had us do a lot of stuff in which we're in varying degrees of hip flexion, and maybe not so much of a back bendy or hip opening, a hip, more appropriately titled hip extension type position. So we'll just do that as a sustained opportunity today. So whilst in your hip extension position, you try to create a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt, right? If you were on your back, that'd be like pushing your lower back into the floor, and then you try to squeeze your buttocks. You can also, as often as it occurs to you, try to squeeze your inner thighs toward each other. If you have active inner thighs and active glutes, good way to provide stability for your lower back and to kind of bring your whole 360 abdominal layers into play here. So we'll start with some arm waves with the weights. And it's pretty much as it sounds. It's a way for you to get the shoulder blade, the elbow, and the wrist all kind of, as three parts of a wavy puzzle here to get going. So if you do this with weights, it's a little more of a challenge. So I'm going to do this with both hands. You're welcome to just do it with one if you want to. So I'm starting out by shrugging shoulders, and then elbows go up, and then wrists go up. Shoulders go down, elbows go down, hands go down, or wrists. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, shoulders, elbows, wrists. Let me turn slightly to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to come off my bolster so you can see. So my shoulders are shrugging, elbows are going up, and then wrists, and then shoulders depress, elbows descend, hands go down. So it's as if you had a sheet that you just got out of the washing machine and you're letting it air dry. This is when you're shaking it out just before you put it on the clothesline. All right. So those were all practice. Let's just do 5 of these, and then we'll do 5 in the other direction. So here we go. 5. Try to, be upright. 4. Squeeze glutes, squeeze inner thighs. 3. Looks fairly whimsical, but it's a nice way to feel the fluidity in your body. 2. And then 1. Now to make that a little more interesting and a little bit more demand on your torso and your core, you can do 2 weights in one hand, or just one, or none. It's up to you. So with 2 weights, it's definitely going to immediately give you a sense of asymmetry, and your abdominal muscles will have to recognize that. So we could just do 5 of these, right? So 5. I'm putting a spell on you, a spell on your arms and your shoulders and all the soft tissues. 4, I think that was 4. Did I skip one? Oops, might be 6. 3, 2, 1. I just realized I forgot to have us go the other way with 1 weight in each hand, so we'll go back to that in a second. This is all ad-libbed, very casual here. So the way we do it in reverse, hands go up first, then elbows, then shoulders. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we can switch it up. So going the first way again. I'll turn sideways. Let me show you. Wait, let me show you with my hand that's holding the weights, creating my posterior tilt, trying to sit upright. More upright, less uptight. That's one of my mottos. All right, so then hands, elbows, shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you can reverse that. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then if I take the weights in both hands again, meant to do this earlier, got a little out of order here. So, oops, you know what, we did do this already. Let's go hands up first, then elbows, then shoulders. It's like you're mimicking a wave. Surf's up, dude. So hands, elbows, shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another option is steering wheel arms. There are many exercises you could do for your shoulders to test their endurance. You can certainly lift heavy weights. Obviously, I have not been using heavy weights through this series, so I tend, in my own practice recently, I've been leaning more toward the light weights and heavy reps viewpoint, because that's what feels better in my body. But you may choose to go heavier weights and fewer repetitions, so it's up to you. We're all unique. We're all put together a little differently. We have the archetypes of how to move and how to do exercises, but we still have all those little things that make us different. Physically, mentally, emotionally, character, everything. Keeps things interesting. Steering wheel arms, pretty much as it sounds. You have one palm down, one palm up, and then just as if you were turning a big steering wheel, wouldn't necessarily want to drive like this on the road. But just for our purposes right now, you're taking your shoulders through internal and external rotation. You could also start to rotate a little bit. Going back the other way. You'd be surprised how quickly 5 pounds starts to feel heavier than you might think. Then arms can be outstretched here. We can work on externally rotating the shoulders, so the palms point up and maybe even turn back a little bit. Yeah. And then you can internally rotate. Right arm, externally rotate, internally rotate, externally rotate. Same thing with left arm. Internal, external, internal, external. Now with me, we could try this 5 rounds of internally rotating and externally rotating. Abdominal muscles contracted, so internal, external, 5. In, external, 4. Internal, external, 3. Internal, external, 2. Internal, external, 1. Then back to having 2 weights in one hand. So I'm holding a total of 10 pounds now in my left hand. So it's very easy for me to be taken over this way. So my right obliques, my right quadratus lumborum, maybe even the right column, my six-pack to some extent, and then the transversus abdominis, like the cummerbund muscle deep within the torso, that's all trying to keep me stable as I inject this position with instability. So now we can have right arm internally rotate, left arm externally rotate. Ooh, and switch. So that was a practice one. Let's just do 3 because this is really hard and my form will start to suffer if I do much more. So 3, 2, 1. And you switch it. Right. Internally rotate left arm, right arm stays externally rotated, and then switch. 3, 2, 1. So when you have your arm, when you have your weight, your load farther away from your center of gravity, that's going to make your abdominals work hard then too. All right, and then one final thing we could do. That was our penultimate exercise of our series, and here's the ultimate one, the last one. It's slow sagittal swings. Say that 5 times fast. So that just means we're doing stuff on the sides of the body. You take right arm forward, your arm is externally rotated in your shoulder, forearm supinated. Left forearm, or whole left arm, is internally rotated and pronated back here. So I'm in the complementary positions of stability, external rotation and shoulder flexion, and then internal rotation, shoulder extension. Then, look at your screen right now. Just see what my hands are doing. They kind of bypass each other, facing each other in the middle, and then they switch positions. And one more thing you could throw in here just to make it interesting would be to do a little knee hinging here while doing this. So I have my right arm forward, left arm back. Could hinge backwards, switch positions, and then hinge forward again, back to where I started. Going back, and then forward. Right? Let's do, this is a lot harder than it looks, so let's just do 3 repetitions per side, with a different arm starting in front each time. So here we go. Squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your knees toward each other, smile. It's really fun, you just don't know it yet. 3, back, 2, 1. I'm trying not to make this into camel pose, into a back bend, and I'm trying to maintain, a fairly neutral position in my spine. And then 3 the other way. So left arm forward, right arm back, starting up right here, squeeze your glutes, and then 3, 2, 1. And that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is it. By the way, you might have noticed I'm wearing my Australian Open t-shirt today. I thought it's fitting now that we're in January, and if you are watching this in early January, whether it's 2024 or some other year, yes, the Australian Open begins pretty soon, and I'm a big tennis fan. I'm a big tennis player. I got to go to the Australian Open 10 years ago, and as a spectator. I play tennis, but I'm not that good. And for any Aussies watching, I never encountered an unfriendly Aussie anywhere. You all are so nice, so friendly, so laid back, so good on you, mate. I hope that was not a terrible impression. You can let me know in the comments section if it was or if it wasn't. I'm happy for any and all feedback. So I thank you very much for watching this today and for doing none, but hopefully all, or at least some, of these 12 videos. Hopefully they've given you a little more insight into how your body is unique, how your body moves, where your imbalances are, and where you need to work on things to get yourself more in line. It's an ongoing battle with me. As I've said in a previous video, old injuries can leave lasting impressions, so there's always something to work on to try to find balance. I'm a little bit winded from what we've done. So I invite you, please, but not to, if you are so inclined, I should say, I would love to have a like on this video on youtube.com or on the YouTube app, maybe a comment that helps the algorithm too, and maybe you're so inclined to subscribe to my channel, because I do plan to do more videos, just not 12 in a row in 12 days, which was the original plan. Obviously, it didn't work out that way in terms of consecutive day releases, but if you're watching this after all videos have been published, doesn't matter. Check out the description box for more ways to get in touch with me and to see other content that I put out there. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Have a great day.